Alright, I am back. And of course, with more production, if some things don't change, I would like to get a refinery to get sustainable power, in quotes. Technically it is limited, but I mean, at the same time, well, is this really a small amount of oil to be in? Last time I made quite a lot of advancements along with power, basically browning out constantly and drowning in oil. I also built this exo helmet, which is more of a headband, but it gives perfect vision, so it's nice. And a refinery is really expensive, but even more useful in a way, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna need to make I need one of these, which needs 3 of these, plus 2 for additional add-ons, because we need full, so yeah. I also want the expensive silicone or slime, which I have seen down in the caves before. Yeah. You really wouldn't think a centrifuge would use that much power, but it does. I think oil needs quite a lot of steel. Okay, so that's already 6. I need to make 7. We're not done yet. This doesn't need steel, right? No. Right? Yeah, no. For the refinery needs another 2. So yeah, that's literally everything on steel. I don't actually have enough steel. So much steel I'm gonna need. Oh boy. I'll fix that later. I guess no plastic. The plastic was not seen, therefore it did not go through. So strange, really. I really don't like how the machine blocks never get more efficient to craft. There's just different variants. Meanwhile, these casings, which can be mass-produced easily, so there's just, yeah, whatever. Okay, there's a lot of options. This is just better by a lot. But of course, that is post-fluxite, which we got very, very early. I could also acid wash steel directly into batteries. I do plan to go the acid route eventually. It's actually way better. There's the acid, by the way. Just, you know, not ready. I've been burning a lot of coal for this. I also believe last time I was trying to make the inventory proxy I don't have a motor. That's enough. For as expensive and obnoxious as this thing is to run at the moment, I mean, I'd be lying if I said this was not a good, good recipe. It is a 1 to 3 plus on iron. It's really good, actually. At least coal is super, or normal steel is cheap. Because oh boy am I using a lot. So part 1 is this, which I can finally make. I'll only need 5 of these. I know only such a small amount, I'm sorry. Then onto this, which needs a tank, which needs some pipes and stuff. I'll borrow these pipes. Should I? Whatever. Then I have glass in this magical box in my base. Sure do. My inventory is such a mess. Not like it's gonna get better or anything. For one of these, I need 5, so I need a lot more of those, actually. Well, at least I have copper, right? I'm gonna need a lot of copper, but copper nonetheless. Fluid pipes, all. Make 2 of those, move those. Okay, now tanks. Need to grab the glass. And I can make, well, I have plenty. Well, fancy that. Now I need slime. I know where to get slime, so I'm gonna go get it. But it's kind of far away. And also kind of rare, but at least I can see them. Oh well. No need to be stingy. Melons are one of the most plentiful food sources I can get. And for as cool as it is to make it look like I'm constantly going to take fall damage and stuff, and such, and as cool as that is and all, how about I, never do that again? Cold. Better feather falling. I'm now immune to fall damage. And this is a tech mod, so obviously I don't have to follow the rules of basic Minecraft. But I normally would take fall damage, never again. There we go. There's the first production. Lights. Now we look for slimes, which I know definitely spawn in here. And if you're curious just about how much fall damage I have, basically infinite. I'll literally cannot take fall damage. Very nice turn of events, and that's a lot of diamonds. And iron. Not inventory though. old-fashioned way, I see. Oh, or not. Man. Yeah, the boots just saved me again. Diamonds time. Nice. Hopefully all of those motor sounds are making it clear why these boots are helping. I believe this is a slime chunk. And I know I could go make the silicone blend and everything and build it the right way, but frankly, that takes effort, and this does not, so I'm gonna do this. Like a child. Off me. No. Get it off, get it off. There we go. I love this cave. Shush. You did that to yourself, mate. And there's the fall damage I was expecting. It's really huge. I mean, the Caves and Cliffs update really did a number on the cave systems. And I'm seeing ravines and ravines and giant caverns right now. Which is cool, but it did make mining a lot more dangerous and a lot more annoying. And also it carved the surface really badly, so... you know. I'd say it's far from perfect, but that's just how it is. I feel like this was one of the chests I would have looted. Do you mind? How? That was not a glow squid that I saw, was it? You know, in hindsight, I almost rather the skeleton killed me first. Oh boy, my inventory ain't looking good. Hmm. Hopefully I can find a backpack soon. I don't want to try and make one, because I've done that before, and well, once you start getting a backpack, you find many. So I want to see if I can avoid making my own one. Save on a little effort, especially since I have not found leather. However, a child. I was just there. Huh. I want the gold. Okay, come on, that's like 3 now. Yellow! I know I have access to the nether and all, but like, this is just right here, free for the taking. Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, honestly, like, the worst thing's probably like the shovel or something. 9 from a stone axe. That's better than a diamond sword, or similar from my memory. That's... Huh. The axe doesn't have much left in it anyways. Hmm. Like, stupid Cusack. Am I looking at that correctly? Wow. So it's true. These things do exist. I'll be honest. I've never even... Trial spot? Huh. I'm gonna be completely honest. I've never actually seen or explored one of these before. What? Do you have any, like, the axe is, yeah, that's funny, but an ender pearl? Yeah, no, that's pretty damn good, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, sorry, Cole. Now what do you have? Efficiency 3? Yeah, I think I'll just be on my way back. How massive is this building? A freebie. This place is bloody massive. Holy shit. This place is huge. Secrets? Subjective, but this is great. I'll never have to go mining for copper again. I mean, I assume you can decraft copper. Is this a jungle mangrove tree in here? Honeycomb. Oh, and here's the front door. Which I remember when I first saw the front door of this thing. I thought it was like one of the most amazing things ever. Because on Bedrock, redstone 3x3 piston doors that are like 1 block wide, we're talking closer to the realm of impossibilities. Right? And yet, here, you have one of those compatible between both versions, if I'm not mistaken. I thought there was supposed to be an on-off button. I believe this is the entrance. Or I want to believe. You know what, I'll just, oh, maybe, no, it's not the entrance. Oops. Well. Ooh. So you can process these. Oh, maybe not all. Alright, definitely something to look into. Is that ice in here? It is. I don't think I have a use for emeralds, to be honest. I mean, it's free copper, right? Sure is. 0 effort copper. Look at that. Look at that. Heck yeah. Back at boss. That was super fun and cool and interesting and slightly weird. Yeah, I've never actually been to a trial chamber, so that was fun. I mean, keep in mind I don't do much with those, but the copper's, I mean, copper's extremely plentiful. It was cool, what can I say? I enjoyed it thoroughly. Full on nickel. Nickel. Anyways, back to crafting. And then getting slime. And all I have to do it with is a shovel. So actually maybe not. I just need to make these. Water texture looks nice. Some would say I have not learned my lesson, but entering caves without the proper gear, and then I would say I have a crafting table down there, so who cares? That is your friend. I am crafting, sir. Why is there so many? I swear, if in the old caves this never happened. I actually use some mutts in here, like I'm supposed to be. I got their back. Also, are they supposed to trigger when you're not near them? Because I have memories of them not doing that, but... Oh, for fuck's sakes. You call me a coward, but I set the difficulty to easy, and yet... That certainly doesn't look like an easy amount of mobs to thin out. Very broad definition of easy this game seems to have, but... Oh well. To be fair, if you look at my armor stat, it's very, like, minor. This armor doesn't really provide defense. My only complaint. Okay. Oh my goodness. How did it see me like that? 4 creepers spawned. Wow. See, slime spawn based off of the moon phase. Something I do not know about. More uranium. Which is unfortunately useless. You want to assume that's a slime. I don't have much to lose. Unless that was platinum. Oops. That's a backpack skeleton. And if I want to make an emplacement, I'm going to need to be quick about it. Probably easier if I just build the emplacement. As so. Yes, I win now. 48. Oh, that's not very nice. Told you I'd get a backpack. It's an iron backpack. It's that good stuff now. Well, don't mind if I do. So now if I open my... Oh, wow. Yeah, we have options now, folks. We have options. This is what I love to see. And now I can fill this with all sorts of good junk and stuff. And I do mean I'm putting a lot of junk in that bag. Like what? Maybe one of these. Admittedly, I'm not really gonna put too much in there for a while. Go mining without a pick, they said. It would be easy, they said. And now I have a bow, I can do bow things or something. Don't got many arrows, nor durability, but very worth it, even if I don't find the slimes. You will stop. You will not be hearing me complain about this journey. Well, maybe the slimes, but I mean, other loot was phenomenal. Do wish it came with a funny jukebox module, but I mean, this is still a winner. Now if I acquire a slime, my heart simply requires it. Something, I don't know. It would make my life easier. I did the silicone last time, and I don't feel like doing it again. Is that too much to ask for? I mean, knowing this mod, yeah, absolutely, but is it still too much to ask for? Is that another backpack zombie? Or another backpack entity? Got like 5 creepers in a row, and now I'm getting these? I have to be careful, it's gonna have speed or something ridiculous. Yep, no it does. Oh, no backpack, so that's at a 100% drop chance. Don't ask what this is. You'll see very soon, Enderman. Speaking of which, hey, make eye contact with me. No, I mean, I got a backpack, which is the goal. I was literally talking about it before it happened. So I'm not gonna act like, oh, I got a backpack, runs over. And the slimes would be nice. Very nice. I'll go give me some slimes. Okay, I'm gonna ask you to not shoot me in the head. That tends to cause me to stop moving. Literally with one shot, I had a feeling. That's why I was like, I don't need more arrows. I only got one anyways. And you know I was right. If I die down here, let it be known. I'm absolutely gonna go with some quartz blend instead. Holy sh- wait, what you're saying is there's a chance. Fancy backpack. Maybe I can put it to use. And that slime's probably despawned by now. Something like go figure, right? Gone? Gone. Told you it was a slime chunk, but it's gone now. Oh, that's nifty. Well, they're a little agitating. The creeper's still here. I think there's like a little indicator on my YouTube series that says what my stream condition is. And it says excellent, although it's not labeled. So it's just a green circle and says excellent. What, the complaining? You know, I know they say matter cannot be created nor destroyed, although I believe I can create infinite amounts of complaints about literally anything. So, take that, physicist. I'm annoying. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother healing. Others faster anyways. This little backpack's nothing to scoff at. I'm about to start being really hungry, and once that happens, movement's shot, and without movement, I'm dead. Yep. Well, we saw slime got a backpack. I would say this was a win. I mean, look at this. Ah. So, let's look at the silicone recipe, because it's more sensible. I need one of these, which needs two. Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna actually need a lot of silicone. But then I'll get naphtha. The naphtha will let me make... Actually, naphtha lets me make so many things. And I didn't use naphtha enough in the other run. So, refining with silicone wash makes tons of silicone, which is naphtha and quartz dust. So yeah, quartz dust, how much is it even? We need a negligible amount of naphtha, a quartz dust, for silicone wash, which can be used to make silicone wafers, which I don't care too much about, or this recipe here, so it's a bucket for 4. So it's a 1:4 ratio for silicone. I mean, it's not awful. It really isn't. The way I plan to get naphtha is via this method. And these things are super easy to make en masse. However, I do want to know if there's a better way to make clay. Boom, boom, boom. Village. Oh, there's a fly near me. Go away. Go away. Why? Okay, why is it that bugs always make it a priority to fly in front of your face? Like, is there a reason for this? Or... what? Okay, desert house. Or world. And fun fact, you can actually make clay if you can get your hands on dripstone. Using a very, I guess it is a bit of a unique method. You can dry out mud made from dirt and water bottles into clay, and by doing that, you know, you get options, but yeah. What can I say? I'm not too worried about it. It's a very slow method, not very useful. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, I need to get clay that way. It would be the little goes a long way sort of thing, but... Is there a way I can find this? Well... nah. Unfortunate. Not sure how I'm not dead. I mean, that was kind of the goal, admittedly, but... you know, so this is going to need stuff. Like leather. Trial chambers may have some. I could actually check that if I really wanted to. Dungeon. Oh no, they wouldn't. Well, leather is something I can go find. In the meantime, we gotta go to hell. Hmm. It's like a single gnat, like a gnat in my room. Moderately annoying, I will admit. But it's tolerable. What's this need? Oh, it's cheap. I do need a motor as well. Which means I'm gonna need a bit of steel, which I don't feel like bothering with. Just kidding, I absolutely do feel like it. I mean, it's just pulverizing a singular piece of steel, you know? So I said I wouldn't need the pulverizer. I lied. It's slow, but it's cheaper. That's 32, and this thing's like... Yeah, it's like a lot more. But instead of waiting on these tools like I did last time, I'm going to grab that steel I made. Then we're going to acquire ourselves a nice new drill. This is not a drill, I repeat, this is not a drill. Also, this railgun is awful. Do not make it if you have sense. And this gives me an idea. I mean, come on. This is affordable. I could get the heavy core by chance. Alternatively, I could make this. But I need steel, and steel needs iron, and iron needs coal, and yada yada problems. So for that, I'm gonna need iron. I'll just nick. For iron, I'm gonna need... But this lava somewhere. I will preferably not destroy the water. Water. Link to stupido. So we're just gonna excavate. Take place. Golden. I'm now wet. Okay. I have absolutely no idea why I've been carrying this around as well. Oh, that's why. And now I'm going to need one of these. Which now needs a motor. But I'm actually going to be using the axis motor, which is not exactly ideal. I think I should just remove that pump temporarily. Needs power, doesn't it? And just because I have that charger doesn't mean it works. So I either have the expensive bad method, or the cheaper yet better method. So I guess I'm making batteries. Which is why I'm carrying the fluxite. It's all coming back together, isn't it? This is now a high priority of mine. I don't have acid yet. So now I need redstone. Did I say, why did I say redstone? Need more fluxite. You might be wondering what I'm gonna do with the extra battery. Yeah, figure it out when it happens, I guess. Oh, it has literally one use. It's not a good item if it only has a singular use. But here we have our first battery. Observe. And like this, I can just bring it over. I think I placed it on the other side of the block. That's water. And what can I say? I wanted some. Anyways, now with an adequate pickaxe, quartz, and a lot of it. Alrighty, now I'm back. I can get to work. Is there any use for the solid one? No. Uses so much. I had a feeling this would be useful. Awkward. I'm not gonna do that just yet. But soon. Need to find a carrot or something. Almost enough. Actually enough somehow. It took my damn water. After this one, I'm going to forget, so I'm going to turn it off. Even at this lowered power, still pretty damn fast. Just because standard steel is super easy to make. Yippee. Oh, there's the bio method, but that takes a lot more power and stuff, and if you have coal, this is just easier. Now I'm gonna have a sudden spike in wood demand. And that's the refinery not yet built. As you can see here, the refinery has a bit of a problem, which is that it's massive. No, I'm trying to remember, I needed a wrench for some reason. Tripod is gone, which is fine. But yeah, no, we suddenly need a ridiculous amount of machine blocks. Somehow that circuit of mine just vanished. Which is fine. Does mean I'm gonna need to make a new one. Which is not fun. I'm putting that project on hold a second time. You know. Yep. I'm gonna need a lot. In case you think that's a lot, I mean, I'm gonna need a lot. And in case you think I'm being a little bit crazy about all of this, I want you to know that this is the only sensible way of building this thing. There are more expensive blocks, but then you run into the problem of them just, well, this thing not having any add-on slots. So you're basically forced to do it this way. I think you can start to see why this might be a bit of an irritation. There we go, there's one module. This upper one needs 2 more. That's just about how much of these you need. But finally, it is done. And now I can get to work doing the fun part, like looking for clay. Well, you think I was ready to use it yet? No, clay. Is that a pufferfish? Yeah, it is. Normally that would kill them, by the way. Don't do that to them. See, when they pressurize, they tend to have the adverse effect of crushing all of their organs at once. And then probably dying. So it's not good for a pufferfish to puff up. Although, you know, it scares other creatures really badly. Also, this is one of the benefits of living near an ocean. That's a lot of the clay I'm going to need for a while. But to not deal with the byproducts and technically make less power, but now sand automation is something I don't have to worry about. Honestly, automating sand's probably fine. I still need to do a test on this. Actually, I should test, shouldn't I? And would you believe that the test involves using even more wood? Would you believe if I said one of my future endeavors is going to be making a tree farm? Because I hope you do. Did that work? Can you really not automate these? Alright, test failed. I was really hoping you could use automation on this, but I don't know, this cobblestone block generator just does not work with any item logistics, which is super annoying. But oh well. We're getting wealthier by the moment. Now, admittedly, I don't really want to use this assembler for it. I want to make a new assembler for oil. But for light oil processing, technically not that. However, these should suffice for the time being. I mean, that's one of the cheapest items you can even make. So with those, they go in here. I know this looks really complicated. Just note that most of it is gonna deal with itself in like 2 steps. Create a huge oil spill. And now this should run. Oh, and by the way, you can turn ore into quartz, which is sweet. Is it... Oh, because it's not in the... By the way, the electrical cables are not waterproof. Do not treat them as such. Oh, wrench. That's what I was making. I was making a wrench, people. You know, I had a feeling I was forgetting something. And the wrench will need nickel, which I don't have yet, so I'll just deal with the oil now. Oop. It's fine. Now, this is not the most efficient way to use oil. In fact, this is way worse than the pump. It does have a benefit, though, which is that, simply put, sort of aspire pretty fast, because although this is a really good way to find oil, for tapping oil, it makes a mess. So I tend to hand delete it. And done. Also, yes, this drill is half shovel if you were curious. I think it would actually be cheaper if I ran this in the air. And also had power on for the base. Anyways, I'm gonna steal the pump from, well, hell. It's just more convenient this way, so, you know. Welcome to hell again, everyone. Got it. That was so fucking sketchy, dude. I genuinely thought that fell into the lava. My fault, obviously, but I'm not gonna... No worries. But yes. Let's rotate this world's smallest pump jack around. Yes. And that's oil done. Believe it or not. Like so. And that's oil. So now I can focus on making even better power. You know, with power to begin with. I want to see, can I just upgrade the generator right now? No. Because I don't have steel. But could I make steel? Maybe. But you're saying is there's a chance. It would not be smart considering, you know, that's not done, but nothing a little bit of wire snipping can't fix. Oh. I mean, I'm gonna have a tree farm, so I'm not using too many sticks. Should be okay. This will make diesel. What the stupid Kuzak. Ah, that didn't kill me. Follow-up did. Okay. Look at all that diesel. Alright, so now we have basically limitless power. This is gonna go. Sweet. Like this, we're gonna need a lot more wood if you can believe it. Because it's always about the wood. Oh, I have those blocks, don't worry about it. The one thing I actually did consider making enough of. Boom, a fuel generator. This bad boy can produce so much power. Unfortunately, however, it's gonna take a bit of prep. Uh-oh. Might as well just run that at the moment. I'm gonna do a small power restructure of the grid. And if you can believe this is a huge multi-block, so tree's gotta go. Let me actually count. Well, this is 6. Oh my gosh. That's at least 9. And then 9 minus 1 is 8. So that's 17. Yeah. A lot. The wood demand has literally spiked. To the point where I need to chop down an entire tree without an axe. Now, I would have loved to make that axe upgrade, the chainsaw, but I may have enough steel. We will see. That doesn't look promising. Doubt it will be promising. But I'll try. Steel uses such little power, it might work. Oh my god, I did it. Wait, how do I charge the chainsaw? I didn't think that far ahead. Well, I'm sure I have some power I can siphon. No, I don't. Whoops. Oh, for fuck's sakes. At least the damage doesn't need power to do its thing. Oh, this tree's gonna get it. I was gonna say, did that not drop? Because this is an axe. So in terms of the restructure, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna go for. I think maybe something like this would be idealistic. Power goes in, power comes out. Should be fine. I don't even remember. Okay, that's where that went. Chainsaw enters. Wood exits. Yada. Will this be enough wood? No, actually, I don't think it will. Primarily, if I don't set it to make the right item. This needs so much wood. 5. Yeah, this, I mean, 5 is a bit. I leave 12 left to build. But, I don't have an axe. Nor really the interest in chopping trees. So let's do some maths, yay. Basic maths, so it's not too bad. Right. So that needs to have 12 more, which means I'm gonna need 8 per, so it's 12 times 8. And a 16 times 4 is 64. Actually, I can make this easy. So per thing you need 2 logs. So from 12, I'm going to need just the 12, that's 24 logs. Somehow this is not as bad as oiled field measurements. They have blue barrels, so it's close. You know, you know. That was a banana. So it was over a stack of wood. It's surprisingly more disappointing than you would think. But that's technically fuel. That's bugged. We'll do some of this. I just want pipes, what can I say? Stop. That's diesel power. Am I literally one short? There we go. Zzz-ding. This needs diesel and fairly urgently. Because the base is short on power. I mean, naphtha can also burn, rather not though. I need electrum. Which is gonna be hard because I don't think I have the resources for electrum. No, I do not. So I need to stop this before I blow what's left of my power grid. So I will have to enter naphtha era tech, which is not idealistic. Let me actually just focus on getting the generator plugged into them things. If you can believe it, I'm unplugging my fragment forge to do it. No. What did I get possessed by or something? Oh. Well, naphta's gonna have to do it. There's diesel. Oh yeah. Look at this. All of this. Yes. Wonderful. Truly wonderful. So I'm gonna do some of that. I don't know where I want to put plastic yet. Would it be nice if I built like an entire floor for washing and stuff? I think that could be nice. The naphtha has to come its own way. There we go. Now this is charging. Cool, power grid stabilized. For now. Well, not really, we can't get rid of the byproducts, so that's just gonna start running down. But yeah, that's petroleum power. I've taken a lot more damage from that than I would like. But NAFTA's super duper useful. I just need to actually build another refinery to use it. Basically. Don't I? I don't know, maybe it's all centrifuge recipes. Easy on the spiders game. Can we, like, not, please? Well, well, well. Some of these really convenient asteroids. Everything a starting engineer needs. In this case, a oddly sufficient amount of gold. Not a problem with me. No, jeez. This should have reserves. Gold in, progress out. So with sand, this is super useful. Gravel makes a very small amount of silicone wash, which I don't think it's worth it, actually. Yeah, mix this with some sand and we're cooking. Plastic is what we're cooking, by the way. I had sand. Where'd it go? Oh, I know. Still in the production line, yep. A little bit of this, won't hurt anyone. And polymer resin is, well, it's a lot of plastic. For a bit of water, you can make a ton of plastics. Or the better mineral slurry for yet even more plastic. Or turn that straight into quartz. Honestly, to each their own on that front. We'll also need some building blocks for the next floor, which is done. This could be pretty interesting to be able to walk on the refiner. Literally one off, whatever, I'm not climbing up again. It's a lot of plastic. Also, this technically means iron is not capable of degrading into sulfuric acid for some reason. I'll give that information as you wish. Now this is super duper efficient. Although it no longer is even. We can put that in, plus some polymer resin, to make oh so much plastic. Oh yeah. Look at 16, that easy. We're gonna have a lot of plastic to work with. Can you make things out of plastic? Like building blocks, I meant? Oh, you can't. Blocks of plastic. Not very good. But yeah, no, we have options now. We have many options. Because now I'm actually at the highest tier of ore processing. I rushed it, that's right. Yeah. Now I add a little redstone, which I'm surprisingly low on. Because it's in the other machine, obviously. I knew the recipe for something else, I just don't remember what. I also need a carrot, but, well, you know. That's eventually gonna happen, probably. You really need to do the sulfuric acid? No, you could basically only use the naphtha things and diesel for power. However, sulfuric acid is just good to have, and besides shield fire byproducts, this is the only other way, and I don't know, I think it's a pretty good way, just saying. Brought some power up. So I'm going to probably need more silicone, which is fine. He's using this brand new method with naphtha. I can make more silicone. Because who would have guessed oil is a miracle substance? Oh, and now I just kicked off the generator again. Nice. So, if I'm not mistaken, I can make silicone wash using naphtha and quartz, and then in another fluid, or no. So essentially, I can use quartz dust with naphtha to make silicone wash, and then turn that with another refiner into silicone using sand. With the slight caveat that I kind of don't have a second refinery for it, which is a little disappointing. In total honesty. Yeah, these clay catalyst beads are cheap. Now I'm on to the annoying part of having to make another refinery. It was bound to happen, you need a lot of these. Well, maybe not a lot, but I'm making a lot. So I'm gonna need a bit more of that silicone powder. Which sucks because I'm pretty much out of quartz. Now I could just turn mineral slurry into quartz, couldn't I? Why, yes, I do believe I can. Mineral slurry turned quartz. I'm liking where this is going. So for mineral slurry, I know how to make it. I need another tank for it, though. But yes, mineral slurry with quartz. In here, yeah. Oh, the catalyst beads to make quartz. It's cheap enough, but it does mean this byproducts can be very useful. And that's the thing about byproduct processing, you're going to use a lot of it. I want to do byproducts in this area here, even though I kind of prefer it as a walkway. I wonder if I put on. It's gonna probably run more oil on this side. So I'm gonna add another refiner behind the refiners here-ish. I could do processing, I guess. I could just route the pipes on the ceiling, which is a little odd, but I mean, it works. Put like a mixer on either side, fluid add-ons and stuff. I think that would be fine. What would also be fun is if I had a damn wrench to work with. Wrench time. And a shebang. Okay, behold, a miracle tool. So to make things look nice and pretty. And slightly less obnoxious to look at. Very, very nice. Is this blacked out already? It has. I'll fix it soon. Trust me, the wrench is very necessary. Unfortunately, we need a refiner, and we're currently out of power again. So I'll just do some of this. That should clear this up for quite a lot of power. These have good internal capacity also, so don't worry too much about them. Should not be a skeleton nearby. Oh, queer. Just make sure the sulfuric acid and this stuff don't mix. That's the #1 rule about fluid processing. Never cross the lines. Or else you'll be very, very annoyed. Very, very alarmingly fast. As it turns out, 90% of the challenge of fluid processing is just do not plug them into each other. Also, if you think that's another source of oil and you haven't seen the other ones, you're right, that is another source of oil. Leather. I don't have any of these things. I have sulfuric acid, so batteries are... Oh no, they're advanced batteries. Which means I need to make everyone's favorite thing. The dubious container, which apparently has a soul in it. What I'm more angry about is the fact that it's just bloody expensive. And don't worry, that never, ever gets cheaper. That stays at a steep price for the rest of the entire game. However, there's leather. Actually, there's two sources of oil on this island. Which, you know, kind of makes it better than what I'm currently on. Not that I'm saying I'm going to be moving here. No, that oil is basically infinite. But... worst case scenario, I move to this island. It's much bigger, more oil, and I'll have probably enough material, like resources to make everything necessary. Yeah, no, the jetpack would be super duper nice. I almost would rather make the block of redstone and go to the nether for the jetpack. Just because I think blazes are easier to kill and collect the powder, like the rods from, than it is to go out of your way to farm. But all I'm saying is I think it's just easier to farm blazes than it is to make dubious containers. And that only gets easier with time, so... yeah. Believe it or not, I'm here for the crafting table only. Although I wouldn't complain about getting some slimes. Yes, a mandatory thing for dubious containers. Also, this backpack, I can make it a lot more convenient on myself. Being back to the slime. I genuinely do not know what set off that creeper. I don't remember placing that. So a long time ago, right? I was on a Minecraft server, right? And I believe they were playing Spleef. And I was in the lobby area, and I'm like, I realized, hey, your hunger still goes down here. So then I thought it would be a funny question to see, can I starve in the Spleef lobby? The answer of that? Yes. Were we all then basically force-fed? Also yes. They're like, how the hell did someone starve while playing Spleef? There's lava. How? So they just gave us a bunch of like baked potatoes, like 3 stacks. They're like, stop dying. They kept periodically distributing those out of fear that someone was gonna be dumb and starve again. Good times. Maybe not for them, but for me it was. I need a chest. Hey, would you look at that? How convenient. Ah, yes. One of the best upgrades. Behold. I have a crafting table now. This will this is gonna make my life easier. So now, instead of crafting in my inventory, I'll just craft in my backpack. Easy as can be. Wham. 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 Nice. Yes, and I can just go like this. Feels a little more unorthodox, but the added benefit is 0 effort. So I would say it's worth it. Text doesn't look great. So what I'm gonna do is make a little bit of that. We're good. Now I'm gonna need to make a refiner. Which means I'm gonna need iron. And iron, I'm gonna need sulfuric acid. I'm also gonna need that tank. Never forget, liquid pipes are not liquid proof. Not a full moon, not even close, so no point in going for slimes. I'm going to make the old recipe for quartz. And if anyone was wondering, that gnat is still in the room, and I'm still irritated by its mere presence. I'm making the cheaper blend. Some might say that was a mistake. I also agree. But believe me, I have a reason. It's just, yeah, it's cheaper. Do I even need to deal with biomass anymore? Because I mean, you know, besides coal production and processing, I mean, steel is cheap, like easy with these logs and stuff. A very unique situation. And this is why I like farming melons. That's all the effort. And it will probably be fine the next time I deal with it. And I'm realizing I'm going to be processing a lot more sulfuric acid. Finally, that carbon fiber will be useful. Because I need to make computer chips. Temporary access. No, that never got removed. We're making this cheap recipe. Which annoyingly has to be done after you make your first one. I'm actually producing diesel now. Which means we're actually power positive. Damn, not even gonna give me the option. Yeah, this main tank can hold, like, the main reactor or the main refiner core can hold significantly more than, like, the main thing can hold significantly more than the add-ons. That's nearly a stack of gems. I like this. Literally bottlenecked on production. That's a yikes. Now I just need to locate carrots. First, nether. First, I topped this thing off. I knew it. It ran low. Again, it's super cheap to run. It's just... It's also really easy to forget to refuel. I can confidently say I'm not using that anymore. Did I go to the nether without building blocks? Yes. Will I regret this? Probably not. Yeah, this place doesn't look fun. So yeah, the nether's not great. Really wish there was a better way of getting carrots. Yeah, I had a feeling. You know, that's filling up a little bit more rapidly than anticipated. Okay, is that enough plastic? It's never been this easy. I guess when you use the literal best recipe, I guess a stack's not too hard to come by. Jeez, that beam in the back's just flinging itself. Not a clue what it's for, but it's pretty aggressive. I know item filters exist, and if so, I have ideas. Is it really this slow? Wow. Oh wow, that thing maxes out my generator. Just one. God damn, the fragment forge is super expensive. Here's the final yield. I'm actually going to process 4 fluxite. Even though I really don't need to, I want to. I guess I could take a little platinum. Gives this thing an excuse to do its thing a few more times. By that I mean make more diesel because the base uses a lot of diesel. I think it's harder to process platinum. It's you! Can I buy a carrot? Listen, I don't want to ask too much. Okay. You sell leather. Thank you for your assistance, good sir. I don't really know. I want to say I made those circuits with an idea, and I'm probably right. I forgot. Yuck. I mean, I know this is technically cheaper, but like, I have no silicone, but I have this much platinum, so, you know. I'm not exactly inclined to think the platinum recipe's the harder one. Why does he want to keep drinking the naphtha? But yeah, no, platinum compared to silicone is cheaper, so... I don't know why it's like that. not gonna act like cobblestone's exactly a rare resource anytime soon. Man, I don't remember the recipe. No, this would be great for my tree farm. Also, I'm a little bit lazy at the moment. Where does a tree farm get built? Down here, I guess? No, it needs clearance. It feels weird building it on the roof, though. Especially so to build another floor. Green. I'm gonna have blocks. So a bounding box error. The bounding boxes are very weird in this pack, I'm gonna be honest. Temporarily. We all know where this is going. Out of wood. By 1. Surprisingly, no blaze rods are even needed. And you can never imagine what this thing does. If you said it's literally just a normal furnace, you'd be right. It might be faster, actually. -1. I mean, if you insist. Although I think you don't get XP from it, so... do keep that in mind, but if you don't feel like shoveling lava around... Yeah, it's more convenient. Because in the old base I had so much lava, it didn't matter, but now... You know... What can I say? It's kind of convenient. I saw that. Well, that's gone. That's actually a really cool shot. If you see that, just take everything out, and it should work. I'm not using that plastic recipe, but for your first build, it makes sense. But I'm using the far more efficient oil recipe. Can you, like, stop going firm? Alcohol's not an excuse. That should go to show that it's not that smart. I have no idea where one of my coils went, though. Because it's very frequent that you need an even amount. However, not this time. So here's the thing about the dubious container recipe. For making batteries, it's rather efficient. However, don't ask me about that one. Please, do me a favor and don't. However, I don't like making dubious containers, but I might have to fold and make one. I'm very mad about this, because you can stock to craft. But I'll cave. For reference, this thing contains the soul of an allay, so it's perfectly fine. Oh. Silly me. I guess I did get a speed upgrade, so you know. That's batteries. So has this gotten irritating to anyone yet? Which I wonder, can I just so happen to see the entire recipe tree for this? Yep, balanced. I mean, it's cheaper if you just turn platinum into ancient debris, because you can do that in this mod. Naphtha, coal, and platinum makes you ancient debris. But you need at least one. I like how it's like, oh, by the way, here's your leftovers. It's good to know if I make one of these, I'll get at least one magnetic coil and 4 compounds out. And only 9 buckets of water are needed. It's a lot of crafting. Guess I can work towards this recipe, I just need to find a creeper. So when you hit them, they don't explode, but when you do that, they don't. But when you walk past them, they do? That's confusing. Alright, well. Out! Before you guys think I'm done, far from it actually, because now there's a super secret recipe, which I've been withholding from you guys, which is this one. Yeah. And these little boosters that it needs are annoying to craft. Worth it, doesn't mean not annoying. That's the Y key, by the way. Okay, Japak. Other one's in here. Heart of Steel. I could have skipped that, you know. Oh, needs naphtha. Needs another refiner. Whoopsie daisy. Gonna need those. Need 3 gates. I just want one of those, what can I say? Hold on, these are fun to mess around with. I thought they had a fun sound to them. Yay! Spin time. Oh boy. Irritable today, aren't we? Nah. So here's a little fun trick you can use while playing. Just use this prematurely. There we go. Also make upgrading the jetpack much easier. I was gonna process gold or nickel, one of those. And if I'm not mistaken, that refinery's been running non-stop this time. That's fun. Not sure what that nickel's for. Probably something to do with the refinery, actually. If you don't know, be ready. guess this is useless now. Yeah, I guess I could use it in my... I don't feel like putting down more trees, you know? Just by doing that, we're now overdrawing power from the base. Quite a notable amount. But I know we'll never black out, we'll only brown out, so the piece is nice. So this can only be used for plastic or for silicone. Oh, plastic, silicone. Okay. Probably should not have done that, considering I now need steel, but potato, what's the difference anyways? Chat is still dead. It's been a long time. Sorry, took a step back. Really hate how that uses the expensive silicone recipe. Oh well. Oh, I need more pipes. How about we don't use the expensive silicone, instead use the cheaper silicone? Because I won't be mad if that one gets used. Out of copper. Fixed. This is why you always get copper. Sure, it clogs the storage initially, but it comes in handy. Eventually. Now I need to make 3. And that's another refinery. Minus the steel, of course. I have literally zero idea where that extra nickel comes from. And I frankly a little intimidated to find out. Why is no one... I mean, it's been like this for ages, right? How come no one ever questions the spiders being, you know, bloody massive? Oh, ran out of those pellets. Fortunately, it just stopped instead of running itself into the ground, but that's a little concerning. That should be good for the foreseeable future. And then some. So I like that. Man, you know an automation pack is good when it's only after basically doing all of the advancements that you start to consider using automation. Yeah, that's not idealistic, but, you know, we make do. Now I need storage. So for storage solutions... That's technically cheaper, isn't it? Oh, what the hell. There you go, that's now automated enough. You can't see past it, can you? Nice one. There we go. Nickel's free. Oh. Wow. Out of juice. Damn, it runs fast. Believe it or not, this is a solid block. Really? Fastest flick in the West? See what I have to deal with? Put that up there. I don't even know if biomass can be used for anymore. We already have better, basically everything. Nearly full. I like how it's so obvious where the first generator was. The structure has moved exactly 2 blocks. Nice. It certainly seems a bit more robust for power. Here's the next refiner. I forgot the blocks. So, where does this refiner go? That's mineral slurry. Probably for silicone washing. Which is actually just a random production. Admittedly, it can go over this area. It's just this massive infrastructure. It's fine. But this is probably where silicone will end up. You know, once I get said silicone. Let me show you what I mean by this being a one and done sort of thing. One log will exactly make one block. Or 3 logs makes a block. Not very much, is it now? Especially considering I need this many more. But this is where this fun chainsaw is going to come into play. Observe. As the chainsaw effortlessly fixes the problem. God. Let's talk about effortless. Oh god, it was still going. If anything, it might be over-equipped for the job. Nah, that's not possible. Yep. Up it goes. Still going. It uses a lot of power. Yikes, that takes a lot of power to chop, but I mean, to be fair, it was fast. Not sure how this ended up in the ocean. It's a bit weird. Should be enough wood, right? Okay, that's like basically 3 stacks. I think it's fine. Let's quit crafting. Oh boy. Let's be preemptive this time. There we go. There's... My gosh. Admittedly less cores than I was hoping for. Yeah, considering I put 51 logs into the thing. Oh well. Ow. Thought that was what was gonna happen. Bigger machine. And now this needs silicone wash. I believe you get that by processing down mineral slurry. I'm not certain though. So you can make quartz alternatively. Hold on, quartz can be pulverized. That's with naphtha. And that gives the silicone wash. Oh. Well, now I guess I need naphtha. It's a good thing we're not short on naphtha. silicone or quartz. Uh-oh. I'm going to need a few tanks. I believe suddenly needing tanks. Thank you very much. Wait, actually, now I can just do the processing in here because I pumped out the mineral slurry. Oops. Well, in it goes. We need a few more of those. Oh, silicone wash. It's so blue. I like it. Put that in, looks pretty. Put this in, does it just make silicone? No. It needs power. Oh, what do you know? I guess things like this do need power. Would have never guessed, frankly. Okay, I forgot what that stuff was for, and I kinda doubt it was wires, but out of being out of boom, I can always just make more. I feel like I'm forgetting something very, like, oh, right, the power lines. I had power lines. Whoops. Now that should just make some silicone. Not sure why it looks like it's circulating it around, but whatever. Oh. Oh, would you look at that? It worked. I'm gonna be honest, per silicone you process this way, it is slightly worse than the other, but I guess it's cheaper on sand. Funny enough. All I know is it's a decent recipe. And also things don't complain when receiving it, which they often would. If I do this, yeah, okay, so you don't need coal to make this recipe. So it's cheaper on sand and coal. Is that a big deal? No. However, it is nice. It's pretty slow, admittedly. So this is one of our NAFTA structures, which is nice. But I could also turn NAFTA, was it, into silicone? One way or another? Or no, it was mineral slurry. Can be turned into quartz using those catalysts. Unless I am mistaken, of course. And all it needs is a bit of naphtha. So actually, never mind, this is pretty efficient. And also, since this is now backed up, it's fine. Yeah, no, this oil unlocks a whole bunch of alternate recipes that are also more efficient and, well, frankly, preferable to use. So, yes. It's innovation for you guys. Wow, that regen is insane. Uh, hmm. So if I'm not mistaken, if you have one, it's faster. If you have zero, it's faster. If you have one, it produces double of secondary, and if you have three, well, yeah, from what I remember, that probably didn't make sense. If you have only this, it's twice the speed. If you have that plus one, this extra one gets double, and if you have all three, well, you get the all three recipes stock. So, for example, if your base is powered off of lava, and you no longer need shield fire because sulfuric acid is significantly better with the fragment forge, well, you can just remove this, and then you get sulfuric acid and steam, and you get twice the sulfuric acid. So it's kind of nice, actually. Although in this situation, I definitely want more acid than I want naphtha. So yeah, I'm mainly refining for sulfuric acid. Even though this is my power grid, I mainly do it for sulfuric acid. Kind of funny if you think about it. But it's fine. Oh, that's what those circuits are for. Why do I have two? It's meant to be making one of these. Oh, I forgot. But I am very forgetful. Pretty sure that only needed one steel, but it's more because I can. I will need it. Oh, you can make slime balls with bees. I actually found honeycomb in that trial. I didn't know that was even a recipe because I never looked for bees. Biofuel, which is oil light. Burn it, compost it, okay. I've never done biofuel. I know it's useful. You can actually make polymer resin with biodiesel. That's interesting. Not very efficient in comparison to the naphtha method. But it's interesting. Also, you can make diesel for power. So, it's oil, except you don't get the acid part. And if you know anything about me, you know I do it purely for the acid part. Or almost purely. I mean, if I got another refiner except for steam and maybe a bit of acid, yeah, I would probably take the acid from that steam recipe anyways. Just because I have a high value for things like that. We can now stabilize a recipe. And this can only... Oh wait. Okay, I could put poisonous things to make weed killer. Very useful. Make steel. Make plastics, which, I mean, we have a little bit too much plastic, actually. And yeah, I might actually switch my plastic back to using the water recipe. It is less efficient than mineral slurry, admittedly, but it does have a fairly useful upside to it, which is that, unlike that, I mean, the mineral slurry, mineral slurry is useful, though. Wait, for plastic? I mean, quartz or plastic. I don't think I'm going to be making that much plastic, so it doesn't matter. It's a nice extra oomph. Who knows, maybe I just want some easy steel and I'll chuck it in the alloyer. otherwise, I may turn it into... I have so much plastic to work with. Because plastic is so easy to mass produce right now in the game. Yeah, that's the recipe I'm using, and that's just naphtha. Nah, it's not worth turning into even more plastic. I could use some steel. Look how much slower this recipe is. Disgusting. And I used to use that one all the time. Bananas. Motors needed. It's still going, by the way, it's not done. Our first eco-friendly motor. Do not get comfortable with that idea. That was a one-off joke. And I don't plan to do it any more than I have to. Shboink. And I could have made plastic using those. I don't care. Admittedly, I do not care. Let me get back to my original goal before ending the stream, really. Ah. Come here, naphtha. I have need of your service. Naphtha in, silicone and sand out. Now I just need to throw a few of these in. Huh. Well. Something tells me I'm gonna need at least like 6 more of those. Oh, and by the way, this is a recipe for netherite. It's the alternate recipe. Oh, that shell needs to be spun. And she got the amounts mixed up. Whoops. It's one of those rare recipes where you just sort of use naphtha as like the end product. This is twice the speed, by the way. And even though this needs 5, we need to basically make 1 for garbage purposes. Nothing says efficient like making literal industrial waste out of expensive components. And yes, that was literally the only recipe that was available. So I don't want to hear any complaining. I'm out of glass. Oh, that's not good. I'll make some more then. Oh. But there we go, 1 free inventory slot, just like so. Done. And that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you've all enjoyed. And well, if you excuse me, this thing needs to take in 5 times my maximum energy storage, at least in that battery. This thing can store like about a quarter of it. Look at that drain rate. But yeah. Excuse me while I accumulate. Yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed the stream. I stream very regularly, so turn on notifications, because who knows when I'll be back. That's not a joke, I genuinely do not know. Oh no. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this, like, subscribe, do what you want to do. I'll see you all in the next one. Yeah, scary. Glass. I'm gonna process a bunch of ores here. So it'd probably be smart to build a design which can handle that. Probably like a straight line of those. Oh boy. technology. I'm basically going to use lines of item filters, hopefully. These all need fluid add-ons, and preferably speed, but I don't think I'm going to get that much of a luxury. Stupid gnat. So I'm probably going to do something like this. Feed them all down here, fluid add-ons. Item line goes in, item line comes out, and then there's a storage tank up there. It's gonna be a lot, but I want to automate ore refinement. I didn't do it last time. It irked me when I did a good mining trip. I'm fixing it this time, and who knows, I'll try to automate pretty much everything relevant. So yeah. That was surprisingly inconsistent. I'm gonna use the rest from my lap charges or something. So yeah, hey skeleton, it's finally your chance. Hurry it up, man. Hurry it up. Buffoon. Oh wait, that's a bow. Something I'm not used to using in this game, mainly because, well, flint sucks. That's for putting in buckets, by the way. Let me guess, not even close, baby. Alright, I'm gonna piss or something. The slurry tank has so much potential, I'm not sure what to do with it. You know what would be smarter, honestly? If I ran the silicone under, or the sulfur under, and then wash. Or I could run all of the stuff kind of here-ish. You'll see what I mean. Let me just tell you, the wrench will become very, very involved. Not that involved, but, you know, standard involved. That has no liquid out. Do not put tanks directly over one another. That's my last warning, because tanks in this mod are actually kinda smart, and you can increase their capacity of the portable ones by stacking them vertically. Which also means if this runs out of sulfuric acid, this is gonna flow in and jam. Here's the #1 rule of fluid processing. Never cross the lines. Or else you'll get to experience what pain is like. No one wants to experience what pain is like. Oh, hi. That's why I turn off mob griefing. For anyone who's remotely curious. It sucks. Flesh goes in. That should be good for now. But next time, there are certainly plans. And I'll see you then.